My name is Evan Harrington. Buffalo Pepsi. You want to try some? Look at them. Buffalo Pepsi. Look at them. There's different flavors.
I'm your host, Frank the Tank Lopez. I'm ready to fight a kid if it happens. If one kid says one dumb thing tomorrow about Baker Mayfield or anything, I'm punching a kid.
Mr. Brotherly Love here, Chris Giacobello. I know how to turn the mics on, Dan.
That's a good thing to know.
We got it. Progress. Where is this Ronaldo slander? Why do you have Ronaldo slander? Where is this banter coming from?
My name's Dan Dale, a.k.a. Double D.
You're quiet. I can barely hear you.
Why am I quiet? Why am I quiet?
Dan, you're quiet.
How am I ever quiet?
Here is The Blitz on 91.3 FM.
Live here from Buffalo State University.
What is going on, listeners, and welcome to The Blitz on 91.3 FM WBNY Buffalo, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982, brought to you by the Buffalo State Student Activity Fee. I am your host today, Mr. Brotherly Love, Christopher Giacobello here, and we had a interesting weekend over the weekend with some NFL games. Not too good of ones if you're a certain fan of some teams, but my Eagles didn't play, so I didn't have to suffer through this past weekend, but I know some others sadly did. But we're a little short right now. Gonna have familiar voices in both Double D, Dan Dale, and Frank Lopez join us probably here a little later, but they have some stuff they gotta just work out on with just life stuff, I guess you can say. But moving on, we do have someone in Studio B, and with me in that studio, well, not in the studio I'm in, but a studio across from me is Rob Lampka. Rob, how are we doing today?
Got a lot to talk about today. Lot to talk about.
That we do. So with that being said, this show is just going to be us two for right now, and we are going to just go right into it. So with today being Monday, yesterday we had not all of our NFL games, but most of them. We still have one game that's going to happen tonight, but we'll get into that a little later. But since Rob, you're a Bills fan, I think let's why don't we just start with that game? So looking back at it, let me just pull it up here real quick. I probably should have had it up already, but the Bills went to Houston yesterday and came out with a tough loss. Lost 20-23 down there in Houston. And Rob, why don't we just start out with you being the Bills fan? Take us through what you thought.
There's so many takeaways from this game. There's so many things I could get into. I don't even know where to start. First of all, what we saw from the receivers yesterday and Josh Allen is not what we saw in the beginning of the year.
Nope. What
we saw from ROC is not what we saw in the beginning of the year. What we even saw from the run game wasn't what we saw in the beginning of the year. I predicted that this would happen at some point. I just didn't think it would happen this early, and now we're sort of in panic mode. We're building fear bunkers already.
I want to say, because, my dad, a lot of people here know that my dad was born and raised in Buffalo, so big Bills, big Sabres, and he yesterday was just, even before the game, he just was so down. He was just like, I just don't feel good about it. I'm like, Dad, this game hasn't even started yet. Like, it just seemed like everyone was not really expecting them to go down and just have the first three performances that the Bills have had. And, the Bills did start 3-0, and now they're on a 2-game losing streak.
The thing is, I don't think a lot of Bills fans went into this thinking, we're going to win this game. We're going to, Bills by 1 billion. We didn't feel that way going into this game in the first place. It was different
for some reason.
Oh, well, I mean, C.J. Stroud is across, and you have the whole storyline with Diggs, which we'll obviously get into at some point. Mm-hmm. But when you have to defend Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, and you're missing your arguably best cornerback in the first place, and your defense is beaten down, your offense is beaten down, you're missing Khalil Shakir, who is your offense
basically
come to be.
Yeah, number one receiver.
By far. Which, again, we'll get into that too, but you had to work through some struggles to even win this game. And honestly, you were gift wrapped a win at the end, and you just shelled it away again.
Yeah. I think we'll get into it a little later with Sean McDermott and his just game time management. But just the start of this game, I don't know. Like, the Bills came out fast, the first 3 games when they were undefeated. But lately, it's just something happened and it just died down. I mean, it's obviously the injury to Khalil Shakir, I think, hurt the offense a little bit. But, I mean, you have, star players in Cook. Matt Collins,
I wouldn't put him next to James Cook.
But, he's a receiver who can make catches. Like, you've seen him obviously he's not consistent, but to have someone who can, make a catch here and there.
He's been a good receiver in this league, for sure. Absolutely.
And Keon Coleman, I think, had his breakout game. I mean, that touchdown he had was, I'd say a little, not like the breakout game.
It showed promise.
It showed promise of what he can do.
Absolutely. The whole offseason, these guys were talking about yak yardage, and I kind of want to rant on this a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So Josh Allen, his entire career, has been a quarterback. He throws to his target. The target gets the ball straight in his chest, and most of the time he's tackled right away. That's what we saw with Diggs. That's what we saw with John Brown. That's what we saw with Cole Beasley for years. Those were the guys. Gabe Davis. He would get his deep ball. He would catch it along the sideline, and that would be the gang. But now, all offseason, even last offseason, we've been getting this whole yak yardage. They want yak. They've been preaching yak for a long time now. And that's what this Joe Brady offense is built on. They're built on getting the guy the ball, and he runs and gets yardage after the catch. But the problem with that is these guys, in my eyes, these receivers aren't built for that. I mean, Khalil Shakir absolutely is the fold of that. James Cook can do that, but are we really expecting Matt Collins to take the ball and run 40 yards down the field?
I'm not.
We saw it with Keon. I mean,
he's probably the only exception.
With
Curtis
100%.
Samuel, but they're not using Curtis Samuel in.
That is the most aggravating thing for me. I mentioned it last week. I saw him. I didn't watch all 22 yet. I usually do tonight. Mm-hmm. I saw him run one route past the line of scrimmage, and that was at the end of the game when we were trying to throw the ball down the field, and obviously Josh couldn't, and we'll get into that too.
Yeah.
It's concerning. It's extremely concerning because we have a full season ahead of us, and we're a quarter through the year, and we don't know what the offense is anymore. Yeah. This feels exactly like last year with Ken Dorsey, where you shell the Miami Dolphins in the beginning of the year, and then you throw 2 stink bombs right after that, and then people are calling for the OC's head. It feels like we're reliving the same year over again.
It's like a repeat story.
And we don't have Stephon Diggs on our team anymore. We don't have a guy.
See, I feel like that's where it's that the wide receiver position, I feel like isn't, for the Bills, it's there, but they just don't have, that number one. If you look at a number one, you look at Devontae Adams or a AJ Brown or
a cold-hearted guy.
Even Malik Neighbors now, I feel like he's wide receiver one, even though he's a rookie.
Without a doubt.
But, the Bills, they do have it in Khalil Shakir. I like the guy. I know I might not be the biggest Bills fan, but I like watching the Bills. I like rooting for the Bills because, you guys, plus my dad. And, Khalil Shakir has just got this insane balance. And just other receivers, I don't, with the Bills, like Matt Collins, it's just, I don't think they're doing their part, and they really have to step up for them to, see something.
We were all complaining last week about Matt Collins getting 22 snaps, and, obviously he had an injury, but he played the entire game yesterday.
I don't get why. I really don't.
I don't understand elevating Tyrell. We heard Tyrell Shavers all offseason. They were preaching on it. The coaches love the guy, and then he just barely plays. He was wide open for a first down on that last drive, which ended up, shelling the Bills' chances of winning.
Yeah.
But I think you need to make a move. I think, it might be a panic move, but you have 2 seconds. You can go get Devontae Adams. If you can work his contract down, I think that's the move you need to make at this point because you can't risk losing another year of prime Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You know?
That like you just can't let like that talent go to waste.
No. And I think I don't know if the plan is to sign a guy this offseason or trade for a big guy this offseason by getting rid of that Diggs contract. But I don't know if the Bills' number one plan this offseason was to go into the year having Khalil Shakir as their number one receiver. I don't want to believe that. I hope that's not the case. I want to say there's a plan here somewhere. Mm-hmm. But my biggest gripe with this entire situation, this whole plan, is when Josh Allen had his breakout year in 2020, he just came out of nowhere, was an elite quarterback.
Yep.
Like an elite quarterback. He had John Brown, he had Cole Beasley, he had second year Gabe Davis at the time, first year? No, first year.
Might have been first
year.
Yes,
yeah. First year Gabe Davis, who was the 4 at the time, showed promise, and you had Stephon Diggs. That is 4 guys you can rely on to catch the football and block and do everything else you need to do. And now you have one of those guys.
Yeah.
And how many teams in the NFL is Khalil Shakir really a number one on? Realistically.
Realistically, probably not even. I'd probably say maybe
5.
5, yeah.
I think that's
5.
a good number, 5. I mean, I'm not getting on Khalil Shakir at all. I think he's an amazing football player, and he's developed really well. But imagine him as a 2.
2, yeah. Or even a slot. Because he's pretty good in the slot, right?
He's in the slot.
Yeah.
He's an amazing slot receiver, and you would love your slot receiver to go down the field and break all these tackles and run for 30 yards like he did last year.
Yeah. But now I feel like they're depending on him heavy as that wide receiver 1.
You would love Stephon Diggs right now, and it wouldn't maybe have worked if Steph was here another year. Obviously, the whole outside scenario, and we saw the post-game handshake, and it doesn't really seem too great between him and Josh right now, and it
that
probably
whole
never will be.
Side-eye thing. I don't know if you saw it.
It breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart.
Because, I mean, Stephon Diggs was basically like Josh Allen's, because when Josh Allen came into the league, that wasn't his wide receiver, right?
No.
Like, they got him like a year or 2 once
It would be
Josh was a starter.
It would be Josh's 3rd year. They got
his
him.
3rd year.
So his number 1, Josh came in. His number 1 before they traded for.
I just feel like Stephon Diggs also kind of helped shape his career, and not like his
100%.
whole career, but like it helped him, you know.
The moment I knew that Steph helped with his development was the Raiders game. It was 2020. Diggs' first year here, threw a just complete 50-50 ball to Diggs. He took the chance, and he wouldn't have done that prior to Diggs coming here. And I think that sort of like settled him in as, hey, I can do this. I can throw this guy. He's going to come down with the ball. I can trust him. How many guys are like that on this team right now?
Probably one. And that's Shakir.
And James Cook sometimes.
I feel like sometimes he'll be dropping easy balls where it's just like, but I haven't seen it lately. So it just depends.
It's just,
I don't know what it is with the Bills, man. Like, I really want to see them succeed, but it's just, where's the, like, what is the hump? What is stopping them? Is it just the coaching? Like, is it?
I think yesterday was coaching malpractice.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
Is that going to happen every game? Absolutely not. I think I've said this before. I think McDermott will definitely get you to a certain point, but there's scenarios like this where I'm screaming at my TV. Run the ball.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Run the ball.
Even I was watching this, like, as someone, like I said, not as passionate as you guys are, but I would love to see the Bills win the Super Bowl.
100%.
Like, I am just like, I was at work and I'm watching it and I'm just like, what? I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I see the first down, he passes. I'm like, okay, that was a little weird, but whatever. Maybe he might run in on this second. Nope. Third one, I'm just like, okay, here's the chance to like get some breathing room at least. No, just throws it again. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, I know I've never played a down of football in my life, but I know when you're like up against the clock, you got to work it or like, you know, like what I just,
Chris, when you're playing Madden, you run the ball in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
If you are that deep in your own end zone, you need to at least run the ball to establish a good punt if you can't get a first down. That's just coaching 101 at that point.
Fundamentals.
Yes.
Right there.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know.
We were taught that in middle school football.
Yeah.
And Sean McDermott should know in that situation. And I don't know if you saw like the sideline cam of him going, because Josh threw for the first down and it cuts to McDermott and the lip reading is him saying, "Oh, we got to go for the first down there."
Yeah.
Or I understand going for the first down, something to that effect. I understand Josh wanting to be aggressive. That's his whole nature. But yesterday, just the way the Texans were playing him, they played man coverage almost the entire game on these receivers. Yeah. And they're starting to figure out, like, teams are starting to figure out how to defend the Bills and Josh Allen. If you can limit his running, which by no means is an easy thing to do.
Yeah,
Josh Allen is one of the best runners we've ever seen at the quarterback position. But if you can limit his running and you can just play man coverage and press these guys at the line of scrimmage, you can limit them almost entirely. I mean, how many passing yards did Josh have this game? 131.
Yeah.
And without the 49-yard catch from Coleman,
and
we
it's
have
just crazy to
game.
see that Josh Allen also went 9 for 30.
This is his least efficient game he's ever played.
Yeah, that's something you just never saw.
It looks like a typo.
Yeah. You're just like, wait, is that right?
And Josh, of course, didn't play his best game yesterday.
Yeah.
He had a probably would-be pick that was dropped.
And don't get me wrong, like, these passes, I feel like, are not on Josh. Because that one with Keon Coleman not even looking hit the back of his head.
That's just miscommunication. Like, I mean, I'd have to imagine that was just a rookie not knowing the playbook or not making a good cut. I mean...
So that's one, completion that was just a miscommunication.
And where's Dalton Kincaid at?
Yeah. And then Matt Collins dropping balls.
It's so funny because we're just eyeing on Matt Collins because he was the guy thrown into this position where he needed to be.
Because at the end of the day, I think he had, him and Kincaid had the most targets.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit concerned on Kincaid right now because of, I mean, I don't know if you closely follow the draft going into the process, but I was a big JSN guy. I love JSN. I wanted to trade up as soon as that 23 NFL draft, as soon as those receivers started coming off the board, I'd have to imagine Bean was trying to make a move to move up for one of those guys. Quentin Johnson went after, then Zay Flowers, which would be really nice to have right now. Imagine him with Josh.
He's going off in Baltimore, I can say that.
And a few other, another guy went, can't remember off the top of my head without looking. But their whole thing that they preached that offseason was, we're going to run 12 personnel. The 2015 Panthers, they had Greg Olsen and Jeremy, was it Jeremy Shockey?
Was it?
I want to say it was Jeremy Shockey, and they dominated the league. They had Cam just...
They went 15-1 that year, right?
Yeah. I mean, that defense was absolutely...
and that was a Sean McDermott defense.
It was a Sean McDermott defense, yes.
So it's just like, geez.
So you draft a tight end to be a slot receiver. You realize he can't be a slot receiver because he's a tight end, and it's 2023. And as soon as Knox gets hurt, you put Kincaid back where he should be playing in the first place. But my big thing with this whole process is, what net positive are you getting for taking Dalton Kincaid in the first round? You are getting a bit more production than Dawson Knox, and your receiver room is not benefiting at all because you didn't draft a receiver in the first round. And then the second round, you have a guy like Jaden Reed who went.
Yeah.
You have other guys that were sort of placeholders like Mingo, and Tank Dell was another one in the second round.
God.
And you're seeing all of these guys doing amazing.
Yeah.
And
so the Bills really had opportunities to draft some talented,
amazing receivers.
Jeez.
Yes.
Hey, it can't be as bad as, drafting Rager over Jefferson, but
that'll be, I mean, that's an all-timer right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
your team could do that.
No, let's not do that.
but going back to the Bills, I don't know what it is. Like, because their first 3 games, they looked unstoppable.
It's motion. I mean, in 2023, when Ken Dorsey got fired and Joe Brady stepped in, we immediately saw the motion, and that was something Ken Dorsey never did. And in my eyes, in the modern NFL, motion is just straight up cheese. Like, almost always the guy who's motioning, or it opens up somebody.
Yeah.
And my thing with this offense right now is nobody's getting schemed open. When you have your number one missing completely, your job as an OC is to scheme up guys. So Josh can have an easy game.
Yeah.
Josh did not have an easy game
He really
yesterday.
didn't.
Not in the slightest.
I just felt like he was really, like, not the whole time, but he was, like, kind of running all over the place.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And that O-line
needs to do a little better.
It's starting to show on the pass offense, or the passing block a little bit right now.
Can I just be honest? I know I don't follow the Bills as, like, you know, like you guys, but just for some reason, I don't like Dion Dawkins.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I just don't like him. I don't know
what it is. Is it because he's, like flamboyant out there and, like, talkative? Is that why? Because, like, you're not used to offensive linemen doing that.
Because, like, when I watch him play, I feel like some defensive player, now I can't name names because I haven't watched, like, you know, every single, but, like, when I'm, you know, when I am watching it, I'll, you know, when they're on offense, I'll be like, okay, let's see, you know, where they get pressure from and stuff.
Right.
And for some reason, I just feel like it's always on his side. I mean, I could be tripping where I'm just, like, focusing on him so much.
Right.
But I just feel like, yeah, he's good sometimes, but sometimes people go by him so easy. But that's just me. That's me. I mean,
I can kind of understand, like, he struggled a lot in the beginning of the year last year, and he ended up stepping up towards the second half of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But Dion's, like, he's the last, I mean, personally, he's probably the last guy to complain about on the offensive line. Me personally.
Yeah. See, we all have our own opinions.
I just 100%.
Like I said, me personally, I don't know. It's
Like,
just something about Dawkins. I don't know what it is.
You have just a strong hate for him deep down or something?
Yeah. Just somewhere
deep down. Did he do
deep
something
down
to the
there.
Eagles?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No. But I don't know, maybe he could be a little less talkative and a little more showing it on the field, but I don't know.
Like a Trent Williams?
That's just me, yeah.
Where he's just cold, doesn't say anything,
and then
throws guys to the ground and wins all pros.
He's just a beast. But I want to welcome in someone else in Studio B who just joined, and that is the ever ethereal, ever magician, just a guy you can't hate. You simply cannot hate.
Nope.
But that is Franklin, the Tanklin Lopez. Frank, how are we doing today, bud?
Bro, I'm going to make you hate me. Dion Dawkins is probably the worst offensive
Oh,
lineman.
come on, dude.
It's not me.
You're just saying stuff to get under my skin.
No,
I'm already
I
about
swear.
to break down.
You can ask Daniel Dale, Evan, whatever's M-effing middle name, Harrington, Joe Cal, Tanner Saunders, Chris Giacobello, Evan Dosby, everyone here at the Blitz.
I didn't say he was terrible.
Dion
I
Dawkins
just said he
is
could.
the most inconsistent offensive lineman.
Inconsistent,
Hot
yeah,
and
you
cold,
can say.
way more cold than hot. Am I wrong for at least saying that he is extremely inconsistent?
I mean, he's allowed one sack this year, so I don't know.
See, that's a stat I didn't know. But then again, we are what? 5 games
Five
in?
games in. I mean, that's not.
Yeah,
I mean, if we want to complain about that, go right ahead. But I mean,
I'm just observations.
Where is this hate coming? I feel like this is a personal attack right now.
This is a personal
I have
vendetta.
a Bucks fan and an Eagles fan going at me right now.
Whoa. Can I just say, I said I didn't like some of his play, but at the end of the day, he is 50-50 to me.
So is he to you a Pro Bowler?
No.
To me, not a Pro Bowler.
So where would you rank him out of all offensive tackles, at least like in the AFC?
Oh, my God.
AFC?
Probably.
I mean, off the top of your head, that's probably hard. You probably can't think of...
Because that's a lot of...
Like, Laramie Tunzels of the world are obviously better than him, right?
Yes.
He's definitely, like... I know Lane Johnson's on the other side, but not a Lane Johnson. He's not a Tristan Wirfs.
I mean, Wirfs...
No, he is
not. Wirfs is a whole different piece.
Yeah, but... just for a comparison, like...
But he's a franchise left tackle.
Yeah. Like, if... Maybe given the right offensive line coach, he could be like an all-pro, but he's...
All-pro's crazy.
He's like in the
I'll give him Pro
middle. He's
Bowl.
in the middle. I would say he's in the middle of, like, not absolutely atrocious, but also not God-tier level.
He allowed one sack last year, by the way.
If that makes sense.
That cannot be true.
He allowed one sack last year.
For the amount of disdain I have for penalties, that cannot be true.
9 penalties, though. I mean, that's not good at all.
Yes, the
awful.
penalties is what can get him. But...
So, do you think Spencer Brown is better than him? Like, are we stooping that low? Or?
No, he is better than Spencer Brown, but Dion Dawkins is not. What?
I mean, regardless, it's Josh Allen back there. He can avoid sacks.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he can throw anybody up there, but like, I'm fine with paying Dion Dawkins $20 million a year. I'm fine with that.
Here's
Yeah,
I think
20.
The only reason that I have this opinion about Dion Dawkins is that it's not you, but it's a ton of Bills fans, and even some kind of media a little bit where they do put him in that top 5, top 10 category.
Yeah. I'd hate to say
in the NFL.
There's a lot of casuals that sort of lock onto the guys that are just, fan favorites.
Yeah, they see him on the West Hurt commercials. He's like, that's cool.
Yep. So they see him in the commercial. It's like, if he's in the commercial, he's got to be amazing.
Or you already know universe. Like,
I will say, one of the nicest Bills I've ever met.
Oh,
Dion
I can
Dawkins?
already tell he's
an amazing person.
I can already tell that he's a sweetheart.
He probably, yeah.
Short story. We were at training camp. We saw Dion. My buddy is a huge Dion fan. He had a jersey. We were calling over Dion. He came straight to us, was talking to my buddy, signed his jersey, inscribed it, everything. Was the nicest guy. So I don't really want to say anything bad about him ever.
You want to know who's a pretty nice guy? I actually met him when I was working at Target doing those drive-ups. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Thurman Thomas.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard
Came
good
to
things
my
about
Target.
him
Yeah.
for sure.
I took out his order. I looked at the name. I had to double take because I was like, is this really the Thurman Thomas? Yeah. He was out because you know those drive-ups they do at Target?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
He had his dog with him and everything. He let me pet his dog and everything. He was so cool.
Which Target did you work at?
Orchard Park.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
The bougie one.
I know. I met.
I know exactly what, by Wegmans, right?
Yeah. Not by Wegmans,
Oh.
but there's a Wegmans, like, kind of, not like near it, but it's like down the road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. There's a Bills player. Bruce Smith came into my Target.
Really?
1013 in North Buffalo, which is one on Delaware Ave.
Did you talk to him?
Everyone just kind of stopped and just kind of stared as he just walked past the cereal,
about right.
past the produce. We're all just kind of like, "Oh, hello, Bruce. How are you?"
Still probably looks like he can play, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a behemoth.
I also had AJ Epinesa come through, and all these cashiers were like, "Oh my god, can I take a picture?"
We met
Just
him and Tim Settle at WrestleMania last year. Super nice.
WrestleMania?
It was so weird. These guys were just like, they were just sitting in the concourse, and like nobody was coming up to them. Nobody knew who they were. I thought it was the weirdest thing.
Average people, they were just chilling.
I mean, maybe because it's like wrestling and it's not football, but like we're in the Sabres arena, like. AJ Epinesa and Tim Settle are just sitting right there. And then Dion came later, and obviously people are freaking out because Dion's a very recognizable figure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's what, 6'7", 315 pounds or something?
Has the braces.
And now you can see his cereal all over Wegmans, so you just can't miss him.
No. Now, Rob, what are you doing at a wrestling show?
I don't even like wresling. I hate wrestling.
That man just absolutely
I don't like it at all.
offended Frank.
All right, that's enough.
I'm going to say one thing, and you're going to get really upset. I think it's really weird there's like 40-year-olds at wrestling events.
Oof.
That's outrageous.
Is it an outrageous take?
Because isn't wrestling for kids?
I'm sorry. I just saw
audience.
CM Punk and Drew McIntyre make each other bleed.
He wants to punch me right now. I can tell.
No,
Deep
listen.
down.
His fists are clenching right now.
This
My
man
hands are
loves
open.
wrestling, bro.
My hands are open and on the table. I am not a violent man. But
But
let me tell you about the world of professional wrestling. No, I know we have time.
I'm not trying to fall asleep.
that's a different
All
show,
right,
buddy.
we're doing it now.
That's a different show, buddy. No, but Frank,
show.
before you got on, we were talking about that Bills game.
I
in
watched
Houston.
30 minutes. I woke up. My Saturday night was not.
So, what was your 30 minutes of watching it then? What are your 30-minute thoughts?
Catch the ball, you bums! What? Like what?
I couldn't agree more. You only had to watch 30 minutes of the game to realize that.
To just come to that conclusion.
Maybe I should have just watched 30 minutes of it. Probably would have helped my mental health a little bit.
Go get Amari Cooper. Go
Okay,
do it
no.
now.
You don't
come
want Amari
on.
Cooper?
No.
You said,
Devontae Adams.
He
Look,
has 6
I'm
drops
just-
on the year. We're 5 games into the year.
I
Devontae
just
Adams?
want your thoughts,
Yeah,
Rob.
I want Devontae Adams.
I just
All right,
want
then
your
Devontae
thoughts.
Adams. Remember when you guys wanted to
If
pair
we
him?
need to stoop that low, we can stoop that low because he's better than a lot of the guys on the roster. But
He's better than Matt Collins, who's wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
he does the funny foot thing. So
He does do the funny foot thing, but at a point in time, we have to realize that his feet are as equally as imbalanced as his hands.
I was kind of wondering, I'm like, if people love this guy so much, how come he's been on 3 teams in 3 years? And now I'm starting to realize.
I was so happy when Philly got rid of him. I'm just going to say that.
Well, he was horrible with Philly.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolute
was
garbaggio.
He a second, third rounder?
I think.
I know he was drafted pretty high.
You guys wasted a 3rd rounder on this guy?
Stop reminding me, please.
I mean, he had a good
I literally
college career.
just told Rob how we drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
Was that No, that was 2020.
That was, it was.
Hollins was like 17, 18 maybe?
Dude went to UNC. Like, how many good football players come out of UNC?
UNC?
Yeah.
Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, okay.
What are we talking about? You're asking about the greatest athlete of all time. I'm sorry. Also, Michael Jordan.
I said football. That's why I specifically said football.
Just wait. UNC Football Hall of Fame.
Wait, who are you talking that went to USC?
Matt Collins, I'm pretty sure went to UNC.
I thought you were talking about Jalen Reagor. Yeah. I'm like, I do not remember Jalen Reagor on UNC.
Matt Collins, because I was like, name a good football player who played in the NFL who went through UNC. Because I don't know.
Josh Downs.
James Worthy.
Okay. See, I didn't know.
Josh Downs. Who else? Who is from this? Devontae Walker. He's a 3rd rounder for the Ravens. He's a rookie, so nothing really there yet.
Where is it? Would you think it would be under University of North Carolina or just
University of North Chapel Hill is what it'll probably pop up.
It'll say University of North Chapel Hill?
Or no, sorry, he went there. Sorry. Let's see the all-time receivers. Who's the best receiver ever come out of UNC?
Unfortunately, there's also no Hall of Famers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame from UCF, so there's no UCF.
Oh, De'Ami Brown. There you go. De'Ami Brown.
Back it up, you Tate. No, back it up. No.
Greg Little, he had a good few
years.
That's
actually, you know what? That's not bad. That's
Hakeem Nicks. It's Hakeem Nicks.
There we go.
Yeah.
Number 1, this undisputed.
Ryan Switzer was pretty good for a cup of coffee as
Julius
a punt
Peppers.
Returner. Brandon Tate was an amazing punt returner.
Jeff Saturday.
Drake
May, guys.
Brother,
we're talking about receivers.
Oh. Yeah, I don't got that for you.
Yeah.
Because
come on now.
Hakeem Nicks absolutely is.
Yeah. He's definitely up there.
I'm looking, guys.
Sam Howell.
UNC sucks.
Oh, my God.
TJ
football,
Yates.
yeah.
Eric Ebron.
Oh, Jesus. All right, but gotta let the listeners know we are welcoming in the other fourth and mighty on this Blitz show, and that is just so many words can be said about this guy. So many good words. Your little brother.
What?
It's because I'm older than him, okay? I'm older than him. But welcoming into the show who's a little late, but that's okay. We still love him. That is Mr. Double D, Dan Dale.
Buddy,
Buddy, are you okay? I know you had a lot happening.
This has been a wild day.
I was saving my breakdown for when Dan got here.
This is very much a long day, and coming on the show to talk Bills is not going to be any better.
Dan!
What?
Rob doesn't like my take that Dion Dawkins is a pretty overrated offensive lineman.
Oh, he is pretty overrated.
Wow.
I said, I agreed that he's overrated. That he's overrated.
When did that come out of your mouth?
I agree that he's overrated. I just don't think he's as low as you think he is.
I put him top 15.
Yeah, top 15. I agree with that.
Just the things that I've seen, people put him top 5, top 10. That is where
I don't see him top 5.
That is where they are mistaken.
No, definitely not.
I'm going to pull up a list.
Go for it.
I'm going to pull up a list.
Go for it.
He's got the receipts, buddy.
Let me go on Bill's Twitter.
Bill's Twitter.
Let me go on Bill's Twitter. Just look up Dion Dawkins and look at all that.
We'll start with Trent Williams. He's just so far above everybody else. It's
oh my God!
Are we doing
AFC
or the entire NFL?
Offensive tackle power rankings. Let's go. This is what we're doing today.
Man, how
Tristan
can we be
Wirfs.
different offensive tackle?
Wirfs,
of course,
Penei Sewell, Christian Darrisaw. That's fine. Jordan Mailata had a down year last year.
But he's still top 10.
He's still top 10. Lane Johnson's up there. Tyron Smith is terrible now.
Yeah,
he's not. He was amazing last year. He's not good anymore. Laramie Tunsil, Rashawn Slater.
Yes.
Michael Orr.
Joe Alt. Joe Alt is amazing so
He's
far.
been amazing so far.
And then we're approaching the Colton Millers, the Andrew Thomases of the world. Is Dion Dawkins not in that conversation at that point?
No.
It's just tough.
If he's not top 10, he's like 11, 12, or 13.
Top 15.
Oh
It doesn't matter if he's 15 or 11, baby. That number's still wrecked.
Did we mention David Bakhtiari?
I don't think we did.
Well, he hasn't played for
I was gonna say
2-3
he's
years
like,
now.
I know, but
he's done.
if he ever does come back, he is for sure better than Dion. For sure.
I just don't know with the injuries that he's had.
I know. Tunsil, we forgot.
Yeah,
Tunsil was in there.
He mentioned him, yeah.
Tunsil, Wirfs, Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas, yeah. I mean,
Teron
how's he
Armstead.
this year?
Yeah.
Andrew Thomas is pretty okay this year.
Rashawn Slater. I'm trying to look at who else.
And then I don't even want to put Teron Armstead in the conversation. I mean, he's had a good year. Actually, oh my God.
Braden Smith
He's had an
from the
amazing
Colts.
year.
I guess Braden Smith from the Colts has some.
Yeah,
backing to him.
now we're approaching some. I mean, he's
Taylor Decker. You gotta give Decker his props. He does guard very well. Yeah, CBS doesn't even have him in the top 20 in offensive tackles. And this may be, I think this is from last year. So, I mean, it's 1 year out of date, granted. But, I mean, I don't know, Dion not being there, kind of like a little bit worrisome. I mean, even PFF.
Where do they have him at? What do they have Dion at?
He
PFF?
had a okay game yesterday. That's probably his grade definitely went down after yesterday.
Definitely trying to find it. There's not that many of offensive tackle rankings, and I wonder why.
The best block in football happened from Dion Dawkins this year, though. That Khalil Shakir touchdown where he just threw the guy to the ground.
I remember that one.
How many offensive tackles are doing that? Lane Johnson might do that.
Yeah, when he's not concussed.
Your best availability is availability.
Who are you, Sean McDermott?
Best ability is availability, excuse me.
Are you Brandon Bean right now?
Are you Brandon?
Is that the next topic of conversation?
It should definitely be a topic of conversation.
Oh,
I might start screaming. Darisaw's incredible.
Darisaw.
He got a pay raise this offseason, that's for sure.
I know, I'm still on offensive lineman right now.
I think that's
this is such an interesting. Why is this so interesting right now?
Because we never talked about offensive linemen.
No, literally though.
Hey!
All right.
PFF has Dion Dawkins as 21.
Yeah.
So just outside of the top 20.
I even gave him more credit than I already said it.
And that's PFF.
Profit.
Well, you know, we know
so
how
if he's a
PFFs
top
are.
20 offensive tackle, that makes him a top 10 left tackle.
Maybe.
If we want to go off math.
Quick math.
If we want
Just
to
some quick math. There's two tackle positions.
I think when you have to do tackle, you do tackle together. There's not just going to be a right tackle and a left tackle conversation.
Did you guys ever play offensive line?
Never.
Did you?
Well, left
Never in my
tackle
life.
is a lot harder to play than right tackle, I can tell you that. And guard is a lot easier to play than tackle.
Oh, I did not know that.
It's way
easier. I mean, it looks easier. I mean, remember, David Edwards is our starting left guard, which I did not think I would still be saying at this point, but he is.
Super Bowl
David
winner.
Edwards. David Edwards, man. I never would have thought he would be our starting left guard.
I'm fine with it. He's been okay.
No, I'm saying he's doing fine. I have no problem with him. Trust me.
My problem is Torrance. I think Torrance has taken a huge step down this year.
You know, I think it's the same thing that Brown went through, sophomore slump. It really just is.
I'm not concerned.
It's just their first year, they do exceptionally well, better than they're projected to ever do. And then second year, just they either figure him out or what his weaknesses are, and they just start attacking. It seems like the third year, they get it like somewhat under control.
It's all technique. With offensive line, I mean, these guys are so... When you reach an NFL level, all the guys are as strong as each other. They're all as big as each other. At that point, it's just about technique. And especially guard, it's such a technical position to play with all the swinging that you do. There's a lot that goes into playing guard. So I think he'll be fine. I think he can figure it out. I'm not concerned.
Right.
Yeah.
Who knew we were going to talk about this today?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be screaming about Sean McDermott for 2 hours.
Let's talk about Sean McDermott.
Okay.
I think that is a good topic to move on to, though.
Someone play the goddamn noise.
Give me a minute.
We have
a Sean McDermott noise?
Oh,
We
yeah.
do have a Sean McDermott noise.
It started with Joe Cal, right?
Joe Cal, yep.
Yep. And I jumped on the bandwagon.
Oh, God.
Fire this goddamn SOB right now. His game management, awful.
Terrible.
What are you doing? He's getting, you know where he's going? He's going to the same level of Todd Bowles when there's 2 minutes left. Except Todd Bowles is great for 58 minutes. Sean McDermott is bad for the rest of the game. Math was not mathing. Listen, I said it last year. Yes, the Bills did kind of come back and win the AFC East in the end. Yeah, they got booted out again. And Dan, what was the big conversation that me, you, and Joe had? When is the hump finally going to be just jumped right over? Because how many more divisional losses can you take? Yeah. How many more championship games can you lose? How many more wild card games? Like, how many times can the AFC East be in your clutches, you gain it, and then absolutely just fumble it?
Did you see the quote that a Bills player had anonymously?
No.
Bills veteran, yes.
I did not.
I'm paraphrasing when I say this. It was something to the effect of, I hope, and then I think they said they, but referring to either McDermott or Josh Allen saying, I hope they learn from this.
From the game?
From the mistake that happened regarding clock management.
Sean McDermott.
I mean, that's just fundamentals right there, I feel like. The game is tied. I just feel like Sean McDermott has something against OT, and I don't know what it is.
You know what?
It's 13 seconds. It's every kind of overtime game.
Well, OT in regular season is horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
You shouldn't get the ball, walk down the field, and score, and the other team just not get a chance.
I thought they changed
that. As a Buccaneers fan, I agree.
It's only in the playoffs.
Oh, it's only in the playoffs?
Which,
okay, that's stupid then.
I understand, like, in a playoff game that should happen, but the NFL is all about ratings. There's a lot of casuals that will tune into an overtime game with the Texans and the Bills, and both of them get the ball. It should be how college is. You should go on a scoring rampage until whoever wins.
Buccaneers Falcons. It was a really good game. Then it's just over in a minute like that.
Was it ended by a field goal? It was
ended by a 56-yard stupid touchdown reception by Kadero Hodge.
Oh, yeah.
The game you're thinking about is Baltimore-Cincy.
Yeah.
Where that ended with a field goal after a Derrick Henry 51-yard run.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with Dan when that happened.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Were you screaming when that happened?
No.
He just goes, I
was talking.
Yeah.
We just
I love my own coach.
I just figured if you saw Derrick Henry make that run, you would have been screaming.
He just went,
that's your guy.
I love Derrick Henry. King.
He's my king. You know what? I'm going to take the weird side. Give me... I have an explanation for the last three plays. And
go for it.
I would love to know.
Just hear me out. You know, don't. I know sometimes my takes go a little far-fetched, but I think this time I have a little bit more of an understanding. So when the Bills originally got the ball back, after that amazing punt by Townsend, it wasn't even an amazing punt. It was just that ball saved his life. But let's get that straight. The ball saved his life. That ball looked like it should have went through the back of the end zone and should have. He was having a very on and off day. He would have one good punt, then one bad punt, then one good punt, then one bad punt. That was just unlucky that we got the good punt that time. And you saw Codrington, he got told by Smiley, do not touch the ball. It is going through the back most likely if it's at like the 2 or 3. Don't be Robert Woods. And he wasn't Robert Woods. He let it go and just took an unlucky bounce. So Bills start to drive it there too. And basically, I saw the Texans had 3 timeouts, and my dad and I were talking about it because my dad's like, "Oh, you just run it out now. You just run it. You go to overtime. You know, that's what probably everybody wanted." But then I go, "No. They have 3 timeouts. You're not going to be able to run it up the middle 3 times. especially even if you use a Ty Johnson or a Ray Davis or a James Cook. You're just not. You know, that defensive line has been very strong today. I wouldn't get it past them if they would get a safety. I mean, you're at year 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first play happens. Keon Coleman drags the corner, gets the offensive pass interference. Now you're at year 1. If we have learned anything from this league, you do not run the ball at your 1-yard line. And the only reason I say that is because every time they assume run, they get the safety. Every time. And I get, yeah, second down and now 12 or 11, instead of, second and 10. You do another pass, doesn't work because Matt Collins can't track a ball to save his life.
Maybe if he was barefoot.
Maybe he'd do better. That's a really good question. What do you do better barefoot? I would like to see it now. So even though Hollins was open, the ball was thrown pretty good. I mean, he gains an extra step. I don't think we're here talking about these last 3 plays.
My thing here is when you run the ball, so in this situation, you're so backed up in your own end zone. We talked about this a little bit already. You're playing for field possession on a punt at that point. You need to run the ball to get as many yards as you can to get a punt down the field. And while you're running the ball, they have 3 timeouts, but the play clock is still running on the runs. You have 3 runs. There was 32 seconds left. 3 runs. Let's say each run goes for 3 yards. That's 5 seconds per run, 15 seconds off the clock. Plus a punt.
Oh, you're not getting 15 seconds off the clock for a run.
Houston had 3 timeouts, right?
No, 15 seconds over the course of 3 runs.
Yeah, they had all 3 timeouts.
My argument to that, Josh Allen can hold the ball for a lot longer than the 5 seconds per run.
Do you want him to hold it in his own end zone, though?
Do you pay him like he's second best quarterback in the league? I mean, you used to. Before all these other contracts came.
Jordan Love.
Tua Tagovailoa.
I would much rather Cook have the football in that situation, milk down the clock. When the Texans got the ball, they had 2 seconds left to make a kick after they made their first play.
Well, they only had 7 seconds after the punt, but I'll get to that in a second. But the thing is, I think the passes actually, even though they stopped the clock once they're incomplete, you already knew they would have taken a timeout anyway. So it's really just saving their timeouts, which is questionable. I get it. Yeah, you usually want to waste the other team's timeout.
Exactly.
I get that. But the thing is, I saw Josh hold the ball for 7 seconds, 8 seconds. He held it as long as he could until pressure started to come. Which was, except for that third one, was a decent time. It was a decent time. They held on to it. I really think that the pass worked better than if they would have ran it. And if they would have ran it, yeah, at the end of the day, you're still getting those 3 timeouts gone. But who knows? Maybe, the punt isn't as good as it was. Martin had an amazing punt. I got to admit, he backed them up at their own 40. Sam Martin had an amazing day. Let's just say that. One of the best days I've seen from him as a Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, but
one of his best days.
There was also a 15-yard return on that punt.
Right.
That basically brought him into the field goal range.
And that's on the special teams coordinator, who should have been fired after last year.
Right. Matthew Smiley is not good at all. That is in other discussion.
But they had 3 timeouts. Wouldn't you want to milk away all those 3 timeouts so that they can't take a timeout to kick a 59-yard field goal with 2 seconds left? If they didn't have a timeout there, they wouldn't have been able to stop the clock in the first place.
Well, I give you the argument too. Evan McPherson missed a 53 in overtime. He missed a 53, 6 yards less than ours. I mean, of course, if everybody can do math, simple. But
you shouldn't expect a kicker to miss, though. That's the thing.
I get it. You
as a head
like
coach, you can't expect that.
You don't like to bank on it. I get that. You don't. But at the end of the day, Fairbrain is not the greatest kicker in the world. He's not. And I got to admit, when I first looked at his kick, it looked like it was going to go wide left.
It did, yeah.
It hooked in. It just hooked in. And it was unlucky. But originally, I did think, we're going to overtime. He missed. It's a 59 kick. 59s are not easy to come by. I mean, it's about his edge of his range, too. I mean, They got right to that field goal target line that they always have on the monitor. So, I mean, even if they had no timeouts, they're still going to try an out pass to the outside that could gain about 3 to 5. Yeah, and that maybe you're talking now 62 instead of a 59. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit farther back. But we're still talking a field goal that could have ended the same way, even if you run the ball out. Even if you... Really, I think the 3 plays at the end of the game, even though it was bad, it's masking the overall problem. Everybody's looking at that as like, oh, that was the coaching fault. That was the horrible decision of McDermott not to take the 10-second runoff on the intentional grounding. It just wasn't right in that right end. But it's the first layer of the shield. You know, it's like how we have an atmosphere. You know, you got the atmosphere and then you have the earth. You know, the atmosphere is supposed to protect you from the sun's rays. And right now, it is protecting, those last 3 plays are protecting the rays of all the media asking, what is wrong with the pass game? What is wrong?
I mean,
that is the main argument.
It's pretty obvious what the problem is.
We have
Matt Collins is a wide receiver too.
It goes farther than Matt Collins. It's the offensive coordinator. You're not scheming guys open. You got to be able to scheme guys open.
No, and I got the whole thing from either Joe Biscaglia or Tim Reed or Sal Capaccio, whoever was down there commenting on this game and just tweeting out. You know, they had a good view. I mean, they tweet out usually where they are in the press box or where they are. And every time I heard, you know, third down, you know, one of those big key plays, their main thing, everyone was covered, no one was open. There was nothing you could have done. And that's why we had the Josh Allen play that he threw it right at the linebacker because he had nowhere else to throw it. And really, it's concerning to me when you sign a guy for 3 years, $30 million, $9 to $10 million per year, and you're using him as a gadget guy. This is his first game as an actual, like, receiver for you. He got more snaps than Hollins. I'll tell you that right now. On the snap count, Curtis Samuel got more snaps than Mac Hollins, and he got used like he's a wide receiver 5. He got used as much as Tyrell Shavers did. That is embarrassing if you are Joe Brady, Sean McDermott, even Bobby Babbitt. Screw it. He's on the defense. He's not even touching it. But screw it. Throw him in there. Like, that is embarrassing that you are using a guy that you signed to be a number 1 to be used as a number 5. You're using MVS better than him.
Dan, I think this is why the question of Sean McDermott is as impotent, whatever that stupid word is, than it is as the same time last year. Because it's the same mistakes that happen, and now it's the passing game is also now being heavily affected by this.
No, I think these are different problems than what we've seen before. Because
clock and game management the same, but the passing game is now being thrown into it,
and
which
it feels
is
like I'm watching a Ken Dorsey offense
Maybe
again.
I took that.
Yeah, no,
way.
like
my bad.
the same mistakes that Sean McDermott has made in the game are still there, but now the lack of a passing game is there now, and it's on full show for everyone.
Yep.
That Keon Coleman can be good. He's still a rookie. We have to give him that.
Well, that's why Josh threw the ball at the back of his head.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was...
Khalil Shakir is the wide receiver 1.
Yep.
And I understand that he's good.
But he's
for this passing game to work, Khalil Shakir should not be your wide receiver 1.
No.
Matt Collins is your wide receiver 2. That's an issue. That is a problem.
Shakir, the reason why Shakir broke Michael Thomas's record of most completions...
I thought he was one off.
No,
he broke it.
Oh, he broke it?
28 consecutive.
Yep.
Oh.
Ha-ha, take it, little slant boy. I was almost going to say a bad word.
Oh, my God.
Hate Michael Thomas.
But the reason why Shakir is that number 1 wide receiver role is, I can go back to it. Who was wide receiver 1 before Diggs got here? Anybody remember?
John
Rob
Brown.
really...
Was it
John Brown?
It wasn't John Brown?
It wasn't Bobby.
I'm not saying John Brown.
Was it Bobby
Because
Trees?
No.
Calvin
Beasley.
Benjamin.
Cole Beasley,
Oh,
yeah.
That should have
That
been.
Cole Beasley role is amazing for this team.
Yes.
Is the reliable catcher who can get the 3, 4, 5 yards that you need on a third down, he is the most reliable catcher on your team. That is the Cole Beasley role. That is what Shakir is in. And luckily, Shakir has been able to fill it. Because, I mean, right now, you look at the rest of his team, and they all look like they're out of high school.
Yeah.
But John Brown, I know a lot of people like John Brown, but that is just MVS reincarnated.
John Brown 2.0.
That is the most insane take I've ever heard in my life. John Brown was a productive receiver for the Bills.
He was, but he was also very much used to stretch the field, which is exactly what MVS is doing. That's what I mean.
But he was good at it. That's the difference. He was really good at it.
I'm not saying that he's exactly like MVS.
Don't disrespect my goat like that.
Oh, he's your goat? I'm sorry. Okay. I'll be better when I talk about John Brown. I do like John Brown, too. I do like Smoke, too.
Would just like to say, saying John Brown is your goat is insane.
He's not my goat, but I love John Brown.
But I just, right now, that Diggs, I can't even say the Diggs role has been completed. The Gabe Davis role still hasn't been figured out. Even though Matt Collins on that...
Hey, you leave my goat alone.
Keon Coleman touchdown?
Oh my God.
Matt Collins on that Keon Coleman touchdown? That's what the Gabe Davis role is.
Blocking?
You look back... Yeah, blocking. Matt Collins did a great job on the block on the Keon Coleman touchdown. I gotta admit, best play I've seen from Matt Collins all year.
I'm going to tell you right now, you better take it easy. You're turning on dirty waters right now.
Oh, Jesus.
You be careful with my goat, Gabe Davis.
That's your goat?
Oh, yeah. UCF legend. Back in the home state of Jacksonville, Florida.
Duval for Justin out there.
Yeah, he's really done a lot in Jacksonville, man. I'm glad they paid him $12 million a year.
Let's see, 2 catches, 1 fight with Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
One, and can't forget the fight.
So really, you're missing the main key component to this offense.
Sean McDermott.
The Diggs role.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you missing the Diggs role? Keon's not like that right now. You can just tell he's not going to be like that right now.
Well, did you see his route chart?
No.
It is horrible.
It's abysmal? Great. That's
they
great
did not. It looks like a Kyle Pitts route chart is what it looks like.
Oh,
that's tough. That's tough.
That's why.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, jeez. Hold it up.
Oh.
Hold it up.
They're solely using him outside, and that is it.
That is disgusting.
They said, we want to stay away from the middle.
This guy was a yak monster in college. You are not scheming him open and using his athleticism?
Yeah, that's...
You drafted him in the You traded down for this guy, and you're not using him for what he's good at.
That looks exactly like Diggs' last 8 games route tree.
And that's okay. I tweeted this out last night. They are using Curtis Samuel like they did Diggs last year when Joe Brady took over.
Yep.
They are throwing screens to him, and that is about it. Yep. And you are paying him $10 million a year to be a screen boy. And he's not getting any yardage at all.
You really hate to see it.
He is a guy that should be easy to scheme open. He can run a 4-3.
He sure can.
He can play running back. He's versatile. He should be easy to scheme open. He was brought in to take that rollover that he did in Carolina, where he was amazing.
He's cooking right now.
He's got a point, though.
He's cooking. He's cooking.
But
I really think it is just one last thing, Chris, and then I see the time.
Yeah.
New promotion. T. Higgins, you're a Buffalo Bill. Devontae Adams, you are a Buffalo Bill. Amari Cooper, you are a Buffalo Bill.
Jeez.
Somebody's got to change the offense before you bring in one of those players.
You're fired.
You're fired. Get out.
Oh, we love the passion. But I think with that note, I think this would be a good time to take a break. We will be right back on the Blitz on 91.3 FM WBNY. Enjoy these short few messages. Welcome back to the Blitz on 91.3 FM WBNY Buffalo, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982, brought to you by the Buffalo State Student Activity Fee. I am still your host here, Mr. Brotherly Love, Chris Jacobello. Still with me in Studio A is the man himself, the legend, Double D, Dane Dale. It's just... Look, we are a sports talk radio show. So we need Wii Sports on here. Well, I mean, it's just great. It's great music to go along to.
I love it. Hi, buddy.
Hey, buddy. We still here in the last hour.
Right.
Evan Harrington said he was going to be back in the last hour, but it's okay. He's with us in spirit. Over there.
Just like, thanks, Evan. Thanks for not showing up.
Over there in Studio B is still Rob Lamka.
What's up?
Rob's just like, I don't know who Evan is.
I don't know what's going on.
I've heard of him. I keep hearing about him.
You're in the Tanner Frank stages.
Ugh,
oh my God, I remember that.
But
yeah, I've never met Frank. I've never met Tanner. 3 months later, finally me.
Still with Rob in Studio B is the ever ethereal, ever magisterial, ever just loving man, the man himself, Franklin the Tanklin Lopez.
Oh yeah. Also, it did not take me 3 months to meet Tanner.
How long did it take you to meet Tanner?
Like a week.
Oh,
yeah, get it right,
no,
Dan. Come on.
It was Joe.
It was also not Joe.
Yeah, no, Joe and Tanner didn't meet for like 3 months.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I met both of them within the week that I went to the first meeting. Also,
Sorry,
you haven't met Evan yet?
No.
That's crazy.
I've definitely heard of him like a million times.
I've definitely heard of him.
Brother.
That's crazy.
Just bailing on us.
Same with Joe Cali. I definitely know who Joe Cali is.
Oh yeah, he'll just never be around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he graduated.
He's a graduate.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless we bring him back for like alumni night.
That is
thing
true.
again.
Yeah.
We do. We can bring that back. Alumni week.
Or
Get
if
a
they're
bunch of
free for
alumni
like,
again.
or if they're free for like that 24-hour live stream thing.
He's on GR, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's why I know him.
He sure is. But with this last hour, we're just gonna do a little rapid fire on these games that happened yesterday, starting with the one at 9:30 a.m. That's I don't think that was right.
Oh God, I have to get back into this.
This was a rough game to watch.
Rob,
It was.
Warning, your ears may shatter.
So we do a little bit of a bit.
We do. When there's NFL games overseas,
Oh no.
we like to try to.
I already know it. Bottle water.
Yeah, Rob already gets it.
Oh, yes, see, he clearly gets it.
So across the pond, we had the New York Jets going up against the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes, clearly.
And clearly the Minnesota Vikings came out with a dub.
Sam Darnold gave me 5 fantasy points, but Aaron Rodgers looks about as good as a 600-pound bear. Immobile and absolutely irrational when it comes to staying in the pocket.
I can't talk like that.
Don't worry, neither can
Don't worry,
I. This
Rob,
is
neither
hurting
can
my
I.
soul.
Don't worry, Rob. When we get to Germany, Frank has got you.
Frank's got it in
So what's
Germany.
Wazzy?
Oh,
Supposed
my
to keep
God.
it.
It's just a little hint, just a little tease,
All right,
little
just
tease, little
tease.
tease, little edge, little edge.
29 for 54 and only 244 passing yards is insane to me.
Yeah,
This game, like Frank said, or no, you said it, Rob, was hard to watch.
It was well. The London games always are.
Yeah.
Everyone's always tired. The offenses always stink. It's how it is every single time.
They were playing the wrong football over there.
Hey guys,
That's what it was.
Zach Wilson, not the problem. He may be a third stringer in Denver, not the problem. He wasn't the problem. Just saying.
It was Nathaniel Hackett
He
all
was-
along.
Don't talk about my coach.
Let's not forget. Zach Wilson was kind of cooking in a fair bit of games last year. Let's not forget
He
that
was,
Zach Wilson
right?
cooked a little bit. Aaron Rodgers so far barely turned the burner on.
Brother, I don't know how he's still getting up out of bed.
I don't know how he's. Uh-oh.
Oh
Uh-oh.
my God.
I see a resident Jets fan behind you. Not Spike, but the other one.
Why are you talking about
The
his
Jets
Jets like
suck,
that?
Dave.
So now you're going to make him come in here. Speak your piece, Dave.
Don't curse.
Speak your piece.
You want to come in and talk
Yeah,
on
you
the
can,
mic?
you can talk,
You don't
buddy.
have to like be at the door.
We welcome you, buddy.
Get him out.
Dave does Fatal 4-Way with Frank.
Yeah. I forgot the game was on. So then I was like, all right, let me look it up. It was like halftime, and then I saw that I couldn't watch it. I didn't have anything to watch it on. I was like, oh, well, they're probably gonna lose anyways, and they lost. So what? We're 2-3 right now. Right? That's our record.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
Oh my God.
This team is just disappointment from the jump. Man, I was there for the butt fumble. You guys remember that one?
Oh, I do.
Oh, yeah, baby.
The legendary butt
I was there
fumble.
for that game, man. I was so sick. I've been sick ever since.
Oh God.
These guys, oh my God, get it together, please. Well, isn't our next game? What's our next game? Like Buffalo?
Yep.
Yeah, we're not winning that. It's over, man. I don't have faith.
Nice little 2-4 to start the year. Not bad.
What did Frank
Nice
say?
little
He
2-4 to start the season. Not bad.
Not bad, yeah. You got him shaking his head over here, Frank.
Got it. Maybe one day. I don't know. I'm just over it at this point. Disappointment year after year after year. Every time.
You know, that almost sounds like a certain video that I know from Frank.
Huh?
What, the disappointment
It
year after
happens
year?
every year.
That is the greatest. I hate that video.
Oh my gosh.
I hate that video with a burning passion.
All right, next game down the list, we're just going to go down the line here, was the Carolina Panthers at Chicago Bears. I don't think a lot has to be said here.
Caleb Williams balled out, but Jaden Daniels is still your rookie of the year.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels, I think, is going to win Rookie of the Year. There's no doubt about it. But Panthers ended up going into Soldier Field, losing 36-10.
Haha.
The only thing the Panthers could really get going was the run game with Hubbard. That was about it. I
Yep.
mean, that
Rocket-
Bears defense is for real. Like,
Red
they are
Rocket couldn't
amazing.
do anything? I didn't watch this game.
No,
so.
he did 18 of 28 for 136 and a pick.
Just so you know,
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard,
Dalton.
60 fantasy points. That's how you know how bad the Panthers are.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard had 60 fantasy points?
Just like played him.
1397 and a
He did not
touchdown.
have 60 fantasy points.
No, 16.
Oh,
okay.
16. I
was
thought
like,
you said
oh,
60. My bad,
Man
my
thought
bad.
he
Definitely
was
heard
at
about that.
60.
Guys, come on.
Caleb did ball out, only 9 incompletions, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. That Panthers defense is an anomaly. It really is.
They
disgusting.
really don't know where
Are they a
are.
JV high school team or a varsity high school team?
Brothers are Pee
I
Wee.
don't know. Like,
Very true.
that Colts defense is a JV team.
A JV team.
So Panthers are varsity, maybe?
No.
You don't think the Panthers are varsity, Frank?
Colts defense is just abysmal this year. So
They're middle school. What are they, fifth quarter?
they're like 4th grade, Pee Wee.
Oh my God.
There we go.
If we're saying that
sounds
about
right.
the Colts, the Panthers are freshly out of the womb.
Okay, then. Moving on.
What?
It wasn't that
I
bad.
didn't even say anything that crazy.
He said worse last week.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
But moving on to the next game was a thriller in overtime with Baltimore going to Cincinnati and taking the dub 41-38. What did you guys think about this
Please
game?
let me rant. Please.
First off,
Let's
Dan,
hear
what
it.
did you think about this
Jamar
game?
Chase!
Okay.
Screw you, you stupid bum of a wide receiver. I hate you. I despise you with a passion. Go away.
But isn't he considered the best? Why do you want him to go away?
I want him to go away whenever I'm facing him in fantasy. God dang it, Chris. I can't be 5-0 without Jamar Chase in my way. I hate him. I despise him. I never want to see him again. I hope he goes to 7-Eleven,
Wait,
goes get a big gulp, and ruins his whole football career.
oh my God.
The Slurpee is going to slurp all the energy out of him.
God. See, now you said 7-Eleven, I want.
You better calm down. That brother's going to be a Patriot next year.
My
Did you
God,
just say
is that
Jamar
man
Chase going to be a Patriot?
Left stirring the pot here.
I would love for him to be a Patriot. He'll never do anything again.
Oh, right.
I give my props off to T. Higgins, though. Good job, T.
You're just trying
He
to.
actually did something.
You're just trying to get brownie
Joe
points when
Burrow
he gets
was
here.
on
I
one.
love T. Higgins, okay? T. Higgins, favorite player.
Yeah, no.
One of my favorite
Joe
players.
Burrow was absolutely on fire yesterday. It's just another game where a fantastic quarterback,
Yeah,
was
shout
just-
out Lamar for giving me 41 points.
That's crazy.
I
Gotta
almost
love it.
How many fumbles did he have yesterday?
He had one.
One.
So I would have had 43 had he not had the one. But it's fine.
Yeah, you're being
Burrow
funny.
just-
You don't need to.
It's
you
fine.
Don't need anymore.
It's unfortunate he lost that game because that was by far his best game of the year, and it really brought him back to that elite status again.
That might be his best game of the year, and
wasted.
I think everybody can call it now. I think we can end the season here. Bengals are not going to the playoffs.
Nah, I don't see it.
No, they can't. They're just not. They're not good enough.
I mean, isn't
That
the
It's all in the defense.
isn't the AFC North like no. I'm thinking about another one. Sorry.
Mike Tomlin
Sorry,
is
sorry.
still leading.
No, it's the AFC North is
AFC
stacked.
North.
Well, isn't a division with all the teams are over 500?
Yeah.
I just saw that, but It was the AFC. No, it's not the North.
No.
That's
NFC North.
That is okay. That's
because remember you forgot one creepy team.
Yep. Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah,
Brain fart.
The Browns are terrible. The Steelers are
somehow.
Hey, they're 4-1. I can't talk about anything. They're
better than what we thought they were.
No, they're 3-2. I thought.
No, they're 4-1.
Are they?
They were undefeated heading into the season still.
No, they're 3-2.
No, they lost.
They lost to Dallas last night.
Don't tell me I'm wrong, Frank.
They're 3-2.
I thought they were undefeated heading into Dallas last night.
No, they were 3-1.
They were at home.
Who did they lose to?
It was last week, right?
Indy.
Yeah, they lost to Indy. They should have won though. Absolutely.
What?
Yeah, how you lose to Indy?
Yeah.
I missed that. All right, that's all I had.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I missed that. Sorry, I'll put a period at the end. I missed that. Period.
Yeah, see, that's how.
There we go.
That's all you got to say.
All right, period.
Oh, jeez.
All right, what game is next?
All right, well, hold on. I was pulling something else up for later, but next game on the list we have, speaking of Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Colts look like they were going to come back here, but Jaguars came out with a dub at the end, 37-34, and this was the Jacksonville Jaguars' first win of the year. Congrats to them.
Wow.
I want to say Trevor Lawrence is kind of back, but that defense is just so bad that they were playing
20, and Jacksonville's not any better. 24 points in the fourth quarter alone.
That's insanity.
Giving up to the what? I mean, that's probably the best fourth quarter I've seen in a long time. Indy 24, Jacksonville 17.
Hey, but you know what? Those throwbacks are nice.
You know who is nice and who might lead this team to an actual chance at winning games? Joe Flacco.
Dude, just the fact that he's older than
just start Flacco now. Flacco's the guy. You don't need Anthony Richardson anymore.
Did you see the graphic with the two of them?
No.
So Anthony Richardson has 39 completions on the season yesterday. Mm-hmm. Joe Flacco 33.
What?
Christ.
That is that's an insane graphic.
That's crazy.
And Tank Bigsby has apparently taken the running back role at Jacksonville. So, not the receiving back. ETN led the backfield in by far 6 receptions, 43 yards. So I guess they're sort of sharing snaps, but Tank was by far the better runner yesterday.
So what I'm hearing is that Frank, who just traded away Travis Etienne.
Yep.
I really think Tank Bigsby is the number one.
That is why do you think
Etienne
I just traded him?
Horrid.
Why do you think I just got Zach Moss and Jalen Naylor to trade for Travis Etienne?
I hate to say it.
I mean, really just fleeced.
Etienne is by far a better player.
Oh, for sure. He is a better player. But
just the scheme, I said it my first show. Etienne is an outside runner. They don't run outside. Tank Bigsby is a big, thick, strong, fast guy. He can run upside the middle. And
Tank Bigsby.
Oh yeah, boy, that's what I say.
Love Tank Bigsby.
Jeez. All right, next game we got Dolphins at Patriots, which was a stinker.
Oh my God!
Dolphins ended up winning 15-10.
No.
Did not watch.
I didn't watch it.
Did you guys see what happened?
There was one at the end. The Patriots actually had a touchdown reverse.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask.
Because the heel of the guy went down, and it was out of bounds. Originally, if he would have just kept the first half of his foot on the ground, it's a touchdown.
Whoa.
But because he put his foot fully down, they called it back, and they gave Miami the win.
It's really a game of inches.
Yeah. Ask Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely is not a big fan of inches.
That kind of reminded me of the... God, I didn't even mention it. That Keon Coleman one, where his heel was almost out, but he just
up.
Yeah.
No,
crazy. It really is a game of inches. But yeah,
I know. I love. I didn't mention this. Charles Davis, get a new freaking job, you bum. My God, these Charles Davis are horrible. I know, ranting. I know, but you brought this up, so I'm taking.
It's only right. Yeah, it's only right.
On the replay of the Keon Coleman touchdown, they're showing right where the heel could have been down. He's like, You can make an argument the heel's up. No, Charles!
Like,
the heel is up,
it's
you
clearly...
dummy! I really want to say worse words that I can't, you dummy! Like, oh my God, how hard... And then he's like, oh, you could argue that he stepped out here. No! It's already been approved by New York! Wait, there's nothing to argue! New York said, yep, it's good, it's good! Shut up, Charles! You dumbass!
Oh my God.
That was close. Charles Davis got you to do that.
I stopped it.
That didn't need to be dumped.
I did it anyways. I don't know.
What, dumbass?
Does it? I don't know.
Dumb donkey, dumb ass. It doesn't.
We're just gonna. I don't know.
Why are you putting me in this position?
I just put dumb
Are you kidding me?
I've
I've said ass so many times.
Yeah, you said ass, which is fine.
Fine. Dumb, comma, ass.
Okay.
I think that works. I
guess.
We're going to be getting some fines in the mail.
Look, I just didn't want FCC.
We've said worse.
I just didn't want the FCC on my ass.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
You see? Okay. Moving on, I have the Creeper as the quarterback still at the Washington Commies, and Washington looks scary. Jaden Daniels looks scary. Scary Terry looks still scary.
Back it up there.
Back it up, Terry.
Looks scary for the Browns.
The District of Columbia looks scary. No, they don't play there.
They do play there.
They do play there. Is it not in Maryland?
Yeah.
Or is it actually in?
It's more Virginia.
I gotta look at my map.
I think
but
it's more Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
you could be right.
Virginia.
Yeah,
It's
Virginia.
Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, to the score of this game, Browns lost 13-34. Washington looks like the team to be in the NFC East. I don't know about the whole NFC, maybe, but Washington's looking good, and that's coming from an Eagles fan.
And it's
They
funny.
look really...
Didn't you see Deshaun just quit on his team?
Yeah.
So
Just walked off on the fourth
I
down?
saw that, but then people were also saying that apparently there was too many men on the field, but also why would the quarterback walk off the field if there's too many men on the field?
Yep.
I'm just instead of hey, get off and be a quarterback and lead, don't walk off the field and then because Kevin Stefanski looked pissed.
Yeah. I mean, even though you're losing terribly in that game, but
you know what? That's what you get for signing this absolute scumbag pervert of a human being.
He is horrible.
This is the karma that Cleveland. You guys had it all with Baker Mayfield. You could have had a good little run. Now I'll take baby Baker from you. I'll take him. I love him.
Well,
and you can be stuck.
Didn't
with
Carolina take him first?
Shut your mouth. That doesn't count.
LA.
Doesn't count.
Okay.
Those two. It's like you know, like when a kid's in foster care, and
what are you trying to go at?
No, I get what you're saying.
They go
I
from
totally
like
understand.
they go from, you know, I'll say the Cleveland Browns were the parents, biological parents, treated him well, and then just something happened. It was like we're done.
You can't do it anymore.
Let him go into foster care. Ends up with two really, really bad, strict, awful, don't know what they're doing in life. Foster parents. And then he finds the love and warming sensation of one Tampa Bay. And he goes, this is home. And God damn it, it's beautiful. Brings a tear to my goddamn eye.
Let Baker bake.
Oh.
That's all you got to do.
But also screw Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I don't know how he still has a job.
Rotten hell.
We are weeks away from him being benched.
I cannot wait.
Their
Jameis
upcoming
Winston, baby!
Browns upcoming schedule: Eagles, Bengals, Ravens, Chargers, Saints, Steelers, Broncos. There's no way he survives.
I do want
to
say, if the Eagles do not beat the Browns, just know you guys will not see me.
I saw you after the Bucks beat them.
Well, I'm talking about in a different sense.
No longer on this planet.
I will be known as Kurt Cobain.
No longer on this planet.
Yeah.
Understood. No longer on this plane
that
we call Earth.
Because if we really lose to them, I'm just not even going to say anything.
Hey, just don't lose to the Browns, please.
Please,
I'm begging you.
I'm begging them to not lose to them. But
that's fair. But also, don't.
Yeah. I don't want to see it. Anyway, next game, Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Broncos took this game 34-18. They move up to 3-2, and the Vegas Raiders move to 2-3. Did you guys see Max Crosby yelling
at Bo
Nix, telling him that his O-line cannot hear him?
They don't know what they're doing. just go, Bo. They don't know what they're doing. Speak up.
That is just a different level. That's just something I've never seen.
No, you've heard trash talk, but I've never seen an opposing player be like, hey, you got to help them. They don't know what they're doing. To a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know if he was just trying to get into his head, which he probably
100%.
was. But, like, that just blew my mind.
It's a great way to do it.
It was
like, for you to even hear him, that just blew my mind.
I hope it was a mix of both. Be like, I'm getting in your head to let you know that I already know what's happening. But also be like, hey, Bo, come on. Be a good leader.
Well, because he's going to try to overcompensate.
He's like, let me help you.
Max Crosby is just trying to be a nice guy before he gets traded. He's just trying to be a nice guy before he goes wherever Devontae Adams goes.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're a package deal.
Yep, they're
Didn't
a
he
package
say
deal.
that? Yeah.
Man, can't believe the Minnesota Vikings are about to get loaded. That's crazy.
Minshew finally got benched.
He did?
Why are we saying finally for?
Hey,
Minshew Mania. Come on, Jorts
Minshew
man.
was doing just
if
fine.
If Minshew Mania is throwing picks and holding back your offense, then
you think Minshew's holding back the offense?
It's Devontae Adams holding back.
Minshew
Let me stop.
Minshew's not the problem over there in Vegas.
Who is
Minshew
it?
is amazing.
Is it the casinos?
I'm going to kill you. No, I think Gardner Minshew for his role has played incredibly well for what he's been given this season.
Yeah, I can agree.
Incredibly well.
I don't think Aiden O'Connell. Don't go pulling up stats right now. This isn't sports forensics.
Numbers don't lie, Frank.
4 touchdowns, 5 picks. Incredibly well.
Okay.
Look, that's a mediocre to last in the NFL. I mean, you think Nathan Peterman is putting up these numbers?
No.
And his number one is Jacoby Myers. So you know what? Give him.
Give this guy a break. Come on.
You have stuff to work with, though. That's true. That's my argument. I think yesterday he missed a lot of throws that he could have made.
You know what? Let's look at Patrick Mahomes' number then. Let's compare.
Jesus.
Let's compare what's supposed to be the greatest quarterback
versus Patrick Mahomes.
Doesn't this dude have more interceptions?
We're going there. We're going Mahomes versus Minshew.
Before we go there,
now, Mahomes has less to work with than Minshew.
What the man speak?
Before we go there, let's move on to the next game.
Oh yeah.
Because they are Monday night, and we're going to get there, guys. Trust me, we're going to get there. But next game, we got Arizona at San Fran. Arizona happens to pull it out at the end, winning 24-23.
Happens?
Didn't they pull it out at the end?
But there's...
This was an aggravating game.
I didn't see it.
This is beautiful. I love seeing the downfall of these bummer Niners.
Yeah, the 40 whiners.
It's beautiful. Brock Purdy's looking like an absolute fraud.
Thank you, DJ Dallas, for injuring Jake Moody.
Oh my God!
Daniel,
we're thanking injuries now.
Daniel, there are certain people we could cheer for getting injured. He's not one of them.
Look! Alex he's been boosting Jake Moody too much. At some point, the karma was going to come back into the world, and it did.
Yeah, we don't want kickers to get hurt.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, if they're against me in fantasy,
then we want them to just absolutely break both their legs.
Absolute scum I'm talking to. Lord.
Anyways,
yeah.
Jordan Mason fumbles. Really, really, really just sets up the Cardinals for a field goal. They go up, and Purdy's pass gets tipped for a pick right after that, and that's ball game. And it's unfortunate because Jordan Mason had an amazing game. Ayuk finally broke out.
He remembered how to play football.
Yeah,
Wait, you're saying it's
forgot how to
that
play?
The 49ers lost?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they deserve to win the game.
No, Arizona. I love Arizona. I love Kyler. Love Marvin Harrison. I love James Conner. This team is... I love them.
Are they your second team?
No.
No, because
I have no second team in the NFL.
Oh. What? Oh. Jeez. Why?
So it's just always been Buccaneers. I guess the only team that I'll ever truly probably now root for is the Bills, but that's it.
Me and you both, buddy.
Yeah, but no, I don't have a second team. That's outrageous. At least not in the NFL.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Packers at the Rams. Packers came out with a dub, 24-19.
Boring.
Okay.
I don't know. I told you I only watched 30 minutes of football yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't watch like any other of these games. I was just strictly watching the Bills.
I only know outcomes of who won, so I truly don't know who did what and what happened.
Jordan Love struggled kind of again. He's been up and down all year through a abysmal pick six, and then just balled out the rest of the game. Basically, I don't know what's going on with Jordan Love. If it's just the injury that's holding him back a little bit at this point.
Wasn't he supposed to be out like longer than he was?
I mean, he either tore or sprained his MCL.
Yeah,
which maybe that doesn't mean as much for a quarterback, but
he's kind of mobile, so I just feel like he may.
It's going to limit you regardless, avoiding sacks and everything. And then Tyler Kraft he's breaking out completely right now. Tyler Kraft is arguably the top tight end in the NFL right now, which, I mean, there's not much to work with. What, you're going to say Kate Otten?
No, there's not breaking news, but there's trending breaking news.
There's trending breaking news?
I don't know if you guys seen this, but it was 2 hours ago, so you probably saw it. Texans wide receiver star Stephon Diggs allegedly had an affair with world-famous rapper Cardi B while she was 8 months pregnant.
Bro, did you see? I saw a video, a video that resurfaced of him. It was when he was with the Bills, and he was just answering questions with a reporter. And the reporter was just like talking about that one song. I don't know if I can say it. WAP, that song. And he was like,
yes.
He was like, yeah, just ask Cardi B. I was like, no way this man just said that. And how did we miss it? Is this really trending breaking news though, Frank?
I just said trending news.
I just take everything that DJ Academics and ML Football tweet out with a grain of salt because it's DJ Academics and ML Football.
It's I didn't know the source was him.
Yeah. So,
check your sources, guy.
Academics just sort of says things sometimes.
He does.
I mean, we also have Dov Kleiman.
That's
who tweeted about it.
He's also a little bit of a moron,
I mean, he's a bot. So.
Yeah. It's just...
So how about them Packers?
Yeah. Packers won, moved to 3-2. Next game, we got the Giants at the Seahawks. What?
I actually wanted to...
Oh, you want to talk about... Let's go back to the Pack. No. No. We're going to go back. We're going to go back. No. Packers at Rams, 24-19. Dan, give us your input before we move on to the next game because we all love your input. Please talk about this game, buddy. Because I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I watched a little bit of it. Matthew Stafford.
Is he still goated? Is he still good?
He threw 45 times. That's not okay.
That's what they got to do to win now,
though.
That's not okay.
Big Kirko threw 58.
That's not okay when your leading receiver is Jordan Wing.
Yeah, I picked him up.
He's a baller. He's a baller.
And then I think Jordan Love might suck.
You think?
Oh, he did not have a good day. I mean, really, the only person who... Kraft Mac and Cheese saved
He had a day?
4 catches, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you can't complain with that.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is now whatever Packers fans are eating.
He must have had some mac before the game.
All right, you can move on now.
Oh, my God. Moving on.
I just wanted to mention Kraft Mac and Cheese.
We had the Giants at Seattle, and they somehow came out with the win. 29-20. I think it was a blocked. Didn't they have like a blocked field goal or a blocked extra point?
The Seahawks are frauds, right?
They are?
That was an open-ended question.
Okay.
Seahawks are frauds, right?
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, good. Glad everybody's on that.
Because if you lose to the Giants in Seattle...
How do you get a fumble at the 1-yard line, return it for a touchdown, and still don't win this game? How do you do that? How that drive
That's a good
took
question.
10 minutes. That drive took 10 minutes of everybody's life, and they still lost that game. That's crazy.
That's really a shame.
Then Daniel Jones knows how to play football again.
I do think the Giants are a lot better than people think they are.
I'm
not saying they're a playoff team, but I think they are a decent team compared to usual.
No, that's fair. I mean, they really did win because they had the blocked field goal.
Yeah.
And Tyrone Tracy, breakout game here.
He wasn't being used as much as at the beginning. It was really Eric Gray who was taking all the running, and then they just like switched it. I picked him up randomly, then dropped him right away. I was like, I'm not using him. Why did I pick him up? I'm like, maybe I should have used him for trade slaughter. Dang it.
For trade slaughter. Oh my god. Yeah, was Malik Neighbors playing this game?
No, he had a concussion.
Okay.
So they won.
That's actually
Neighbors.
kind of, interesting to see because, like, he is undisputedly their wide receiver one.
It's
like, without a doubt.
Woolen and Witherspoon were just
having a day?
horrible.
Oh. I thought you were going to say we're having a day.
They were letting Darius Slayton and Wandale Robinson doing what they want.
Yeah, Darius Slayton, 8 receptions for 122 yards.
Who lets Darius Slayton do that?
This happens every year. Darius Slayton has one game like this every year.
Yep. No, it's like
so
the
this
Sterling
was the game.
Shepard game.
This was the game.
Sterling Shepard usually has like 2 to 3 games a year. I think now Darius Slayton's in that role.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, it honestly blew my mind that they actually won because I was really thinking Seattle. I didn't think it was going to be like a blowout, but I thought Seattle were going to win comfortably. And I woke up and saw that score and was just like, wow. Mm-hmm. But anyway, to the last game that happened on Sunday, which was delayed, was Mr. I like to throw an interception on not one day, but 2 different days while playing in the same game. Dak Prescott versus Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dallas went into Pittsburgh taking the dub 20-17. I did not watch this game because after I saw it was a delay, I was like, yeah, I thought it was going to start at like 10:30, and I was like, I got at 8 a.m. the next day. I can't be doing this.
Right.
But yeah, this just seemed like a defensive battle, honestly. With it being that low, I mean, it was just 6-3 after the first half, and Dallas just came out on top.
They were going into it in the broadcast a little bit that this was Justin Fields' game to really show that he should be the starter because Russ is apparently going to be close to 100% next week.
Uh-huh.
And
Fields,
he had
two TDs, 2 touchdowns,
but the passing was not really there. They didn't get Pickens involved at all. He was held in a lockbox, and I'm sure you saw what he had on his eye black last night.
Yep.
So it's pretty ironic.
Yeah.
And, of course, Najee had yet another unproductive game. They couldn't get anything going on offense besides Fields, who had an okay day, pretty pedestrian day, at least for his standards. And Dak had the passing yards are there, but those picks were absolutely horrible. Mm-hmm. That pick to CD in the end zone was just a horrible read. Yeah. I'm sure you guys saw what CD said on the sideline. He said, jump balls I got you, jump balls. Which that was not a jump ball. So
no, that wasn't even close. It looked like a floater that died way before he even got there. And then also CD just didn't know the ball was coming. He's like, oh, that thing. That's right. I get paid to catch it. Let me just stand and watch.
He just gunned it to the corner and expected the cornerback to just not react to it, which he obviously did.
Jackson, I think it is, or Dante
Jackson.
Dante Jackson, thank you. Pretty decent guy this year. He's been really good for Pittsburgh.
Dante Action Jackson.
I mean, like, you're not just going to throw that.
Yeah.
And they expect nothing. That's just horrid. Horrid play calling. Horrid read by Dak. Not even horrid play calling, just horrible read by Dak.
And Joey Porter Jr. held CD in a lockbox, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle finally had his breakout. He finally got the
running back 1 role.
Yeah, he got the snaps this time around. 20 carries, 87 yards, average of 4.3, which is league average. But he had a good day. I mean, he got a receiving touchdown. He's showing some promise. We'll see what they do going forward.
He's on my bench.
Oh,
Yay.
God.
That's good depth right there, man. You should be happy about that.
Oh, I am. I'm very. I mean, my depth. Everybody let me get this. This running back room now, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, Rico Dowdle.
So you're winning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm 4-0.
He's undefeated, dude. It's like, I was looking back at the draft, and I'm like, how
did I get these guys?
I can't say the words that were going to come out of my mouth because I would have had to dump it. But I was just like, how in the world did this guy get not just Derrick Henry, but also Alvin Kamara.
Every single year, I do this myself. Every single year, I see a running back that was productive the previous year. I see their age, 29, 30. I'm like, oh, should I really draft them? Nah, I'll take Devon Achane. Nah, I'll take Brian Robinson. He's 25. I'll take him instead. And then Kamara comes out and gets 32 receptions a game.
We can always be like those people who drafted CMC first.
Oh, God.
What is happening?
R.I.P.
When is he? He's projected to come back week 7, possibly.
Dude,
it's just all
I think
over
he's
the place.
just not even going to come back this season.
Yeah, I almost feel, depending on how well Mason does, which he has
He's
been
been
doing pretty
unbelievable.
well.
And to just,
I think you just give CMC the year.
Yeah. Like, he was fantastic last year.
Like, especially if your record is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, they're already now at, 2-3, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't waste them.
If they're at, like, let's say the halfway point and they're like 4-5, 3-6, I don't even want to think about activating.
Well, especially with the injury, it's acute tears inside your Achilles. You don't want him to play with that and just tear the entire thing.
Absolutely, just
because that sets you back an entire year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they're playing with fire.
Yeah, you really hate to see it though with a talented player. But moving on to the game that is going to be happening tonight at 8:15, we have the New Orleans Saints going into Kansas City to face the Chiefs, being the second undefeated team at 4-0. What do you guys think about this game? You think the Saints are going to go in there and to Kansas City and make a statement, or do you think the Chiefs are going to stay undefeated?
The New Orleans offense has been amazing this year. I still believe they're top in the league in scoring, last I checked. And Kansas City is probably the hardest place to play as an offense.
Yeah, especially against the refs.
And in prime time. Audibles are probably impossible, I'd imagine. It just depends how Kelsey does. I think their Chiefs' entire offense is going to rely on how Kelsey does going forward and how Juju fills the role of Rashee Rice, or if it's Justin Watson they go forward with. It's a tough game. It could go either way. I want to say the Chiefs, though.
I just need Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave to get 25 points and I'll be happy. I don't care who wins anymore. I don't care. I'm going to take the Saints to win. I'm going to shockingly take the Saints to win. I think Kansas City's gotten off a little too soft with their wins. I think I get it. Probably somebody's going to be like, New Orleans' offensive line is hurt. Yeah, well, they're still doing okay. They're not great, but they're okay. Like, they're on their third line guys now, but it's okay. They'll probably make it through.
Everything's fine.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say I trust car insurance, but I can believe in car insurance. I mean, you don't need car insurance, as they all say, but it's better to have it.
Show me the Carfax.
No.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, Mr. NFC South guy.
You know, give me the Saints. I'm going with Dan here.
Of course.
I mean, I just like Dan was alluding to.
Yeah,
Chiefs
whatever.
Okay.
That's outrageous from everyone.
All right. I think
he
with
just
these
wants to move on.
I think with these last few minutes, I do. All right.
do.
I'm with you on that, Frank. So with that being said, hold
Rob,
on.
did you pick?
Yeah, Rob picked.
Okay, sorry.
Would you pick? Good.
Chiefs.
Thank
So
God.
2-2.
Someone has a brain.
Anyway, all right. Moving on. I think Frank. I think you'll love this. But
I just have two things.
Okay, go on.
No. Just two topics that I would like to get to.
Okay, I think you'll like this first one. So I'm gonna play it real quick, and then I think you'll see.
You'll see.
I know what you're doing. You'll see.
I don't like it already.
Yes, you do. Shut up.
I don't.
Shut up.
1 and second, 2 down. 1-2 pitch to Castellanos. Into left field, down the line. It's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series. Back to Queens, one apiece. Castellanos, the hero.
New one. That's a very new one.
Oh God!
I was not expecting that.
You love to see it. You just love to see it.
Nick Castellanos had to make up for all the days he was off when everything bad was happening.
He did.
I'm going to throw Edwin Diaz off a
You know what he said?
Bro.
He said, you know what? I know what tomorrow is. It's the anniversary. I got to do it.
Oh.
The anniversary of what?
Oh.
Let me stop.
Oh.
Let me stop.
Okay. That's wild.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Not wrong.
Tell me everything that is bad that has happened in this world. This man does not just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to hit a home run today because why not? Something bad happened, but let me do it.
Walk off the day before the anniversary of what has now been the longest year of war.
But
fantastic. Wonderful. What a good guy he is. What a stand-up guy Nick Castellanos in Philly is.
He's amazing.
Look,
first off, hey, Philadelphia.
No, look, what I love about it is that this man was getting booed.
Good.
Clearly see him shaking his head and said, these effing people. Proceeds to, I think his next at bat, hit the tying home run.
Yep.
And then proceeds to win the game.
Yep.
In a walk-off.
Whatever.
Buddy.
It was amazing.
Are you mad?
I just don't like Edwin Diaz. I just
God.
truly hate Edwin Diaz.
He's mad.
I'm sick and tired of having him in this closing position every single goddamn time. It's the worst thing ever. Ever since his injury at the World Baseball Classic, this man's just a liability. It's not like he's closing out like, oh, it's 1, 2, 3 punch and it's out of there. It's, oh, he just walked someone. Oh, that's a base hit. Now there's man on the corners. Oh, then he strikes out 3 or strikes out 2 and then another one just pops out for the win. Wonderful. Guess where that ball went? To the warning track and gave every single person a heart attack because that's how ass Edwin Diaz is.
Sounds about right.
It's outrageous. The Mets at least showed up offensively last night.
They did.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't take, until the 8th inning, like their last 3 really big wins for them to, take over the game. Pete Alonso is kind of staying hot after his, basically walk-off home run, but just his go-ahead home run against the Brewers. Hits a solo shot. Lindor staying hot. Mark Vientos is the hottest player right now on the Mets rotation. In just baseball, it feels like, is Mark Vientos. But, of course, Nick Castellanos does what Nick Castellanos does. He hits a stupid home run, but it doesn't matter because the Mets and Phillies are back
in Queens.
In that Citi Field, baby. In that blue and orange. Under the bright light. Choke what? No one expected the Mets to be here. Your team's supposed to be here. This is where your team fails.
Where's your team at? Exactly. I still love you, though.
I'm going to throw this at you.
I still love you, Frank.
No, because it's Red October. It's Red October.
Red October.
It's not just you. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. Because it's really all of Twitter and Instagram. But it's, oh, Phillies, baby. Don't mess with Philly, man. Yeah, baby. What up, John? Let's get some water ice. And yeah. I'm sick.
You want to grab a John?
Let's grab a quick John at the Wawa and get him a quick water ice. I'm sick and tired of it. That Philly team is... I said it all year. Best record doesn't mean anything when your best record is against the worst teams.
It doesn't.
You are not the best team in baseball. And I'm telling you, even if the Mets don't win, this is going to 5. And it's going to expose the Phillies to whoever, hopefully the Padres, have to play next. And if it's the Padres, they're done. If it's the Dodgers, they're done. It does not matter. No matter what happens with this outcome, if it's the Phillies, they do not get past the Padres or Dodgers. It's as simple as that. This team is unlike the past 2-3 years. This team is not built to go into the World Series.
Yeah, I mean,
simple.
Especially with the at-bats they had in the first game, was just terrible. With all those star players.
And it feels like Zach Wheeler's the only pitcher right now that's showing up.
Bro, Zach, I mean, watching that first game really just... like, to let Zach Wheeler down like that, man had over 100 pitches.
Yep.
Pitched, what, to the 7th or 8th inning? No runs given up. And then it's like, oh, yeah, let's switch pitchers and just, blow the game.
And the only reason I say this is going to 5 because I think the Mets lineup right now is just a little bit better.
Yeah.
And everyone talks about game 1 like, oh, my God, the Phillies choked. It was 1-0 into the 8th. It wasn't like the Mets were also, they let up a run, but that was Kodai Senga's first start back in a very long time. Like they only let up 1 run through 8 innings. Like, it's also, they were very head-to-head. Even though the Mets didn't score a run yet, the Phillies only scored one.
Yeah.
So it's like, these teams are very, very fair matched.
I mean, obviously, when they know each other pretty well, too, with how many times they play each other
Also,
each season.
First time they've ever met in the postseason.
Which
is
actually
insane
wild
to me.
Yeah.
Because these two teams hate each other.
Well, I mean, when
this
you're...
is the first time they've ever met each other in the postseason.
When you're, like, down the I-90 a couple hours.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Your guys' home game is also a home game for us, basically.
Yeah. Ish.
At least for the Jersey fans.
Do you have anything to say about this game that happened? Or any of the baseball games that happened yesterday?
Oh, here it comes. Here comes the glazing.
I love Nick Castellanos.
Yes!
Love him. And you know what I love even more? A New York Mets loss. And you know what I love even more? That tonight, the Yankees are going to get their win against the Kansas City Royals. And everything will be right in the world.
I don't think so. I think Carlos Rodon tonight is going to have an absolute abysmal performance.
Do they have the starting pitchers
I don't
yet?
ever bring logic into anything. This is the only sport that I try and bring logic into. Carlos Rodon is going to have an awful night tonight. I can just already tell.
I think you're going to have an awful night tonight.
Brother, after this, I'm going to practice rugby and I'm going to Ranchos. My night's going to be simply fantastic.
Not unless you tear an ACL, that is.
Okay.
Where'd that go? That was personal.
Oh my God, bro.
Don't do that, though. Don't do that.
I mean, that is true.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, look, everything's fine if you're just like paralyzed from like the waist down, basically.
Look, I didn't say that. You can still walk after
you can
tearing
break your
ACL.
neck, but like everything be fine. What's wrong with you? How dare you?
Oh my God.
I'm tearing it now on purpose.
You're gonna.
I'm gonna try and hit the fattest jukes I can just to pop it out, just to pop that little meat tendon right there, just for you.
Not only are you gonna tear your ACL, you're gonna tear your MCL.
Oh, the knee's gone. The knee's exploding.
Your LCL.
I'm making sure of it.
Jeez, Frank is just gonna be stuck here.
You're gonna see me in crutches, and you're gonna be like, "What happened?" I go, "You."
How, when I wasn't even there, you're gonna say I happened?
People are gonna ask me what happened. I'm just gonna go, Chris Jacobello.
Oh,
we'll look it up. Anyway, I think Yankees Royals tonight is gonna be a good game. I think the Royals do at least tie it up for the series.
I think the Yankees are gonna catch a dub.
I think the Royals are gonna get a win here.
Thank you.
Darn.
These are just really.
I don't trust Rodon at all.
Thank you. These division series matchups are also just some of the best we've had in such a long time, to where it's actually fairly matched up very well. So I can see a lot of these going to 4 or 5, and I think the Royals are going to take one. They have to, at least. I think with Carlos Rodon on the mound, I think the Royals can absolutely capitalize. Bobby Witt's been fantastic, because of course he is. Wish Salvador Perez would maybe try
playing
baseball. And also just run the base as well, but I know he's like 47 and has the knees of an absolute baby koala. So it's kind of hard.
I didn't know you can be that old with knees of a baby.
They're very unstable. And what's also Dodgers...
Losers.
Jurickson Profar
Losers.
absolutely clowned the entirety of Dodger Stadium. He let Mookie Betts run around the bases. He let 99% of the entire stadium think Mookie just hit it out, except for like 3-4 fans.
Oh my God, I saw that.
And then there's one fan where he's like,
that was
he knew, but
so
the ball wasn't
up.
there. He saw the ball wasn't, and then Profar just kind of stands there and then turns around and then just flicks the ball up, and you just see Mookie just kind of go, and then head back to the dugout.
You want to talk about savage moment.
They threw a ball back at Profar later in the game. Then they also started throwing trash at Fernando Tatis. And then Tatis just went around, hit a home run. Then also in the outfield, takes his hand, cups it, goes right up to the old gonads, and then just gives them a little tuck, a little shift right to the stage, right to the fans.
That I did not see.
Tell me why this Padres team is so fun to watch.
And I gotta watch
Fernando Tatis Jr. is literally one of my favorite players of
Fellow
all time.
Dominican.
Oh.
Look, I was telling my grandma about him because y'all know my grandma was born in DR.
Uh-huh.
She was like, "Oh yeah, I watched his dad play." I was like, You didn't tell me that.
It's fantastic. Ooh.
That's amazing.
Love Tatis. Love Tatis.
I thought that was just great.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for baseball.
Is it?
Yeah.
You got 1 minute for your
one thing. What's the other topic you wanted?
The Panthers are going back to back to back, baby. We may have lost the first. I already said it. It's gonna be reverse Tampa Bay Lightning. It's where they make 3 in a row. They win the first 2, lose the last one. The Panthers are doing a reverse. We lose the first one, win the last 2 for 3. Then we get 2 Stanley Cups back to back. This team is so good. The top 6 stay alive. The bottom 2 also are just so good, except for maybe just one outlier. But Adam Bachmus is looking like an absolute gem. Sergei Bobrovsky's looking elite in preseason. We still have Spencer Knight, who's finally back from his little mental health, thing he has to just manage with. Love you, Spencer.
Tomorrow's their first official game of the season, right?
Yep. Okay. We opened the season against the Boston Bruins, who, as of right now, Jeremy Swayman, who did sign an 8-year, $8.25 million contract, has not been announced a starter yet. It is still their backup, which is beautiful. I need that. I love that. Also, please, if you're in the Florida area, evacuate or get safe, because Hurricane Milton was just announced to a Category 5 an hour ago.
Yeah.
So
I heard Tampa, the Bucks are leaving tomorrow or today?
Bucks are leaving tomorrow. It's going to be making a landfall in Tampa either tomorrow morning or late afternoonish, and it could get all the way from Tampa all the way down to Naples, which is near my area. So, hey, Florida, love you. Just stay safe.
Hang in there.
We've been through this before. It's Florida. We're boys. We're absolute rock stars down there. That's it. Let's go Panthers. We're going back to the Stanley Cup Championship. I'm calling it now. I'm saying it. I said it last year. We're doing it again. Oh, my God. I've never been more confident in a team
than the Florida Panthers.
Oh, my God. I wasn't even this confident with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. That's how confident I am in this Florida Panthers team. Also, congrats to the Sabres for being 0-2.
What? Why?
Because they look a lot better.
You better lock that door there, buddy. We got Dan going to the other room because Frank.
No, I do not.
Jesus. Look,
I'm saying
it's gonna go to rugby.
The Sabres are 0-2, but they look way better than what its 0-2 Sabres team last year would have looked like.
Oh my God! All right, I think on that note, it is 4:00, so that means our show is ending. Thank you, everyone, for listening in to the Blitz on 91.3 FM WBNY. This has been your host, Mr. Brotherly Love, Chris Jacobello, alongside my wonderful dudes, Dan Dale, Rob Lamka, and last but not least, Frank Lopez.
Goddamn right. Let's go Panthers.
Let's
go Cats.
That has been the Blitz on Monday. Join us on Wednesday when we're back again 2 to 4. Everyone have a lovely rest of your Monday. Stay safe.